Okay, what if I told you that you could take one of the most common habits on the entire planet and turn it into a serious passive income stream? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating playbook that shows you exactly how to do it, and all you need is a couple of surprisingly simple AI tools.
So, you've probably heard of these faceless YouTube channels, right? You know, the ones where creators make content without ever showing their face. It's a huge trend. But there's this one specific niche, one that's usually overlooked, that is showing some absolutely mind blowing potential right now. And it's something as simple as the daily weather report.
And look, when I say potential, I mean serious potential. We're talking about some of these automated weather channels, get this, reportedly pulling in as much as $69,000 a month. And it's all from just telling people if they need to grab an umbrella on their way out the door. It's wild.
Okay, I know what you're thinking because I thought it too. That number just sounds insane, right? How in the world can a simple weather forecast video with no real person, no personality, make that kind of money? It just doesn't seem possible. But the logic behind it is actually way simpler than you'd think. And that right there, that's the secret sauce. The whole strategy works because it taps into a gigantic, consistent, daily audience. I mean, think about it for a second. Checking the weather is something pretty much everyone does every single day. And for a simple task like that, you don't want fluff. You just want the info, fast. So by feeding that built-in demand, you're tapping into this constant, never-ending stream of viewers. And as you know, that is the absolute lifeblood of ad revenue. So the big question is, how do you actually build one of these things? Well, the most amazing part is you don't need a green screen, you don't need a fancy camera, you don't even need to know anything about meteorology. Your entire production studio is basically just a handful of AI tools that become your virtual news team. So come on, let's meet the crew. Yeah, think of it like you're assembling your own digital news team. First off, you've got Google Gemini. That's your scriptwriter. You just prompt it to grab the latest forecast and write it up like a news script. Then there's Google Whisk. That's your on-screen talent, creating a super realistic news reporter avatar. For the voice, you use 11 Labs, which turns that script into an incredibly natural-sounding voiceover. And to put it all together, Dreamface acts as your animator, making sure the avatar's lips sync up perfectly with the audio. Bam. Done. And this is really the key point here. Just think, what used to require a whole team of people, a ton of expensive equipment, and an actual studio can now be done with just 4 apps on a laptop. The barrier to entry for creating something that looks this professional, it's just gone. It's completely vanished. All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of how these pieces actually fit together. Making your daily report isn't really like filmmaking at all. It's more like following a super simple 4-step recipe. It's just a clean, streamlined workflow from beginning to end. And really, the workflow is just as simple as it looks. So step 1, you ask Gemini for the script for the day. Step 2, you design your AI reporter in Whisk, and hey, you only have to do that part once. Step 3, you pop that script into 11 Labs and it spits out the voiceover. And finally, step 4, you put the voice and the avatar together in Dreamface to create the final video. The whole thing can be done every single day in just a few minutes. I mean, this really shows you the revolution that's happening right now in content creation. The old way, it was expensive, it took forever, you needed on-screen talent, a studio, all the gear, special editing skills. The new AI-driven way just bypasses all of that. It's about using simple tools to turn a complex production into a digital assembly line. It's no longer about how complex you can make something, it's about the power of the idea itself. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here. This whole automated weather channel thing isn't just some clever little trick. No, it's a really powerful case study for the future of content, of entrepreneurship, maybe even the future of work itself. This really represents a massive shift in how value gets created and, monetized online.
So just to recap, let's break down exactly why this model is so incredibly powerful. First, it targets a huge, reliable audience that shows up every single day. The production costs are basically zero, which means your profit margins are massive. It gives you total anonymity, which is a huge bonus for a lot of people. And maybe most importantly, it creates this scalable system that can make you money with very little daily effort. You're literally turning a simple idea into a financial asset.
And this all brings us to a really fascinating question, doesn't it? Are these AI-driven, automated channels the next big evolution of the creator economy? Something that opens the door for millions of new entrepreneurs? Or
is this just a passing trend, a little storm before the next big thing rolls in? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining me.